My parents are coming up this weekend to help us build out some bookcases and basically a library in part of our living room. I've been dreaming of having a bunch of bookcases and some cabinets that have doors on them so that we can put some toys and hide things away. I'll show you what we're currently working with and then talk you through a little bit about the vision. Here's the wall that we're working with. We're gonna get rid of this, that's sitting here now, and we're building some shelves that are gonna go up here, and then the cabinets will be, with the doors, will be on the bottom. It'll be 3 that go. They won't go all the way to the end of this wall. They'll stop kind of where that painting is. And then the intention is that the next step will be to build a bench right here, and the bench will have some storage in it as well. This liquor cabinet is gonna get moved, and it just will be a lot more functional of a space. The records will go in this bookcase, and you can see these Ikea boxes are the bookcase. So we're doing kind of an Ikea hack. I think I want to paint it like a robin's egg blue kind of color. The rug in here has some blue elements to it, and I think that would be a nice thing to have some color in this room. But yeah, it's going to be quite the project. I'm going to tackle trying to build some of these bottom cabinets today so that it just makes our lives easier this weekend. Just got back from dropping my son off at school, and I picked up an order from the grocery store. We're going to be super busy this weekend. We are building a library bookshelves for in the living room. I'll show you guys that later, but won't have time to go physically to the grocery store, so I did a curbside order, and I thought I would show you a haul because I love watching grocery hauls. Here's what I got. My favorite ever hummus. It intrigued me, the branding, world's creamiest hummus. This is so good. My son loves hummus, so we always have that. These little cucumbers, again, another one that my son loves to dip in there or to make veggie sandwiches. Got some cojita. I'm gonna make enchiladas this week. The best butter ever. This French butter. It's a salted butter. It's so good. And then I got some mozzarella balls. I'm gonna make, there's a What's Gabi cooking recipe that's chicken parmesan meatballs, and you put these in the middle. So good. I haven't made it in a year, and I just thought about them the other day. Let's see. This is, I believe, the ground chicken for the meatballs. And then I've got some this is the ground chicken, that's ground beef for another recipe that I'm making. I don't remember. Maybe a pasta. And then, let's see, some basil. My favorite Caesar salad mix. We always have that on the side when we make pizzas. Different cheeses for different recipes. This one's for chili. Oh, that's what the ground beef is for. I'm gonna make chili, and then Mexican cheese for the enchiladas. Strawberries, because I have a 3-year-old who eats berries crazy. They had a special on sparkling water where you buy one get one, so obviously stocked up on that. The nice thing about curbside when they put the stuff in these paper bags is I can use these for compost, so I can put all my compost in them and then compost the bag. So I like that. Pizza sauce for the pizzas, chipotle peppers, red curry paste. I'm gonna make like a red curry noodle soup. And then marinara. I actually haven't had this one. This is Carmine's, but I know of this restaurant or pizza place or whatever. So I'm curious to try that one. Some avocados. That's so nice that they put them in a brown paper bag because they're hard, so this will help them soften, ripen. Tortillas. These tortillas are so good. Let's see. Lime. I have multiple bell peppers. I'm going to use some in the enchiladas or in the chili, but also my son likes to eat those with the hummus. So do I. Onions, red onion, and a poblano pepper. And I actually wanted plain Cheerios for my son, but they substituted for Honey Nut. He'll love these, obviously, but I try to get the plain ones so that it's less sugar. The best pizza dough. You can get this also at regular HEB, but it's in the frozen section, and you just take it out in the morning, and it rises all day, and then you can make homemade pizza. That is it for groceries. There's a squirrel outside the window, and it reminded me that I have to tell you guys about what happened last night. So I went to work yesterday, and Alex texted me, my husband, and he was like, there's something banging in the chimney. Like, I keep hearing this noise. There's definitely something caught in there. And he called around trying to get someone to come out to check on it, and nobody could come out today, like yesterday. But it was in there. Like, we didn't want to wait. And we were also scared that it was going to come out into our house, so we didn't know what it was. Like, is it a squirrel? Is it a bird? Like, what is it? So he calls 311. They're like, we don't do chimneys. So he finally gets a hold of like a wildlife rescue service that's willing to come out. He comes out in the evening. It's been in there like all day. Like we were like genuinely feeling bad for whatever it was, because it just wanted to get out, clearly. And he checks the chimney like from the inside, and he can see all the way up, and there's nothing in there. We had literally just gotten our chimney cleaned, which maybe is a part of this, I'm not sure, but he looks up there and he doesn't see anything. He goes on the roof, and when he goes on the roof, he can see in between the chimney and the bricks, like there's space there because it allows the chimney to cool off. Like, it doesn't overheat because it has that space. And somehow 2 squirrels had gotten stuck in there, and they were like pretty far down, like 20 feet down. So there's not like another access point to that. So he ends up going to the hardware store and getting really, really thick rope and putting it down there. And then the squirrels were able to climb out. It was nuts. So now we have to figure out where they came in. We have somebody coming out to inspect to figure out where it came in so that it doesn't happen again. I mean, honestly, these squirrels, I don't think they're doing it again. And it was crazy. Alex was convinced it was a squirrel because after this happened, earlier in the day, he saw a bunch of squirrels in our yard, and he was like, I think they're like talking to they were all like really loud, and he was like, I think they're talking to each other like about the squirrels in the chimney. And that sounds silly, but it genuinely seems like they were. So hopefully they're telling all of their squirrel friends, don't do that. But we have the rope in case this needs to happen again, and it's going to be inspected and covered or like sealed. But oh my gosh, it was wild. I'm so glad they're okay though. An update. Right now it just looks like so basic, but it's going to be beautiful. We are working on the arches now that are going to go over the top, and then we will attach all the doors. And then next weekend I'm going to paint it, and it'll be so beautiful. I'm excited. And let me show you another space that got adjusted. So this liquor cabinet was originally over where the cabinets are now. I moved it over here and kind of have been working on rearranging a bit, but I think it looks really nice. I'm gonna change out this picture that's right here because the black frame is a little much, but I really love how the space is coming together. Update, we added the arches, and the next step is this, we're gonna add some trim, so there will be like a fluted trim. I'll need to prime and paint it. That will be probably next weekend. It snowed in Texas. It never snows here. It won't last very long, but very fun. Cabinet update. Things are happening. Okay. I primed all of the shelves and then the arches and the trim yesterday. When I got up this morning, there's a little bit of a disaster in that some of the primer had seeped through the drop cloth and was on our wood floors. So that's fun. I was like, not gonna freak out. We're gonna figure this out. I used Dawn dish soap and I let it sit on the patches, and then I scrubbed with my Scrub Daddy. And it came out. There's a little bit that's like being testy, so Alex is grabbing some goof off, and we're gonna use that on the little bits that won't come out, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. And so he's also grabbing a few more supplies, and I'm gonna finish priming before my son has to come back home. And I'm hoping it dries pretty quickly, so as long as I get it done in a reasonable amount of time, it should be like mostly dry by the time he's here, which would be great. But we're just gonna focus on the parts in here and then the doors, and then I guess I'll put like a fan or something on it so that it can dry as quickly as possible. And then we figured out which paint color we want to use. I'll show you. I used a piece of the wood from the Ikea furniture that we weren't using in the cabinet just to test the paints. They're all Faro and Ball, and this one is a light blue. I forget what this one is called, and then this one is Parma Gray. I knew I wanted like a bluish color, and I was pretty sure I was gonna want like a more blue-gray color, so I'm glad I got a range. This I felt like was too light. I love it, but I think it's just too, I want it to have a little bit more of an impact, the whole effect. And then this one is too green to me, and I love this one. It is like that nice blue-gray mix. I think it's gonna go really lovely, and I think it's gonna like feel impactful when you see it. So that was my reasoning. But Parma Gray, I ordered the big gallon, so that we can start painting hopefully next week and not have any disasters, please. I'm editing the vlog and I realized I don't really have a sign off, so this is me signing off. Thank you for joining. I am so glad that I've been documenting this cabinet building journey. It's definitely a journey, but we're almost done. I can't wait to like have a finished product and start putting things on the shelves and decorating it. One note, I started a Substack. We'll link it in the description box. I'm having so much fun with it. Like, it feels like the old days of blogging. So please go check it out. I just wrote a post about the Alexa Chung book, It, if you remember that, and just the influence that it had on me and why I can't get rid of it and why I feel like it's still so relevant. So yeah, go check that out. But I will see you again, hopefully sooner rather than later. Bye.